Hey y'all. So evidently, Sheriff Marco Lopez, the one that released Madeline Soto's picture on Instagram, the one that got caught running the gambling operation. Yeah, well, evidently he's about to make bail, which is surprising because the stipulation was that he had to be able to prove that his money was clean money and not embezzled money that he made from running the illegal gambling operation. We're going to read this article. This is from WFTV 9, the local news station, and it is Osceola County Sheriff Marco Lopez to make bail soon, attorney says. There's his lovely, beautiful picture right there. From Tavers, Florida, a court filing reveals that suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marco Lopez has met the requirements to bail out of the Lake County Jail. His bail currently stands at $1 million. The court previously ruled that the bail money must come from legal means and not from the alleged gambling operation. A legal expert said Thursday's ruling means the hold on Lopez is lifted and the judge found the bail money is clean, meaning Lopez is free to post it. His attorney says he will likely post bail Thursday night, that is tonight, June 26, 2025. Jail records show that he has not yet posted that bail. Lopez, who is 56 years old, is charged with racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. Prosecutors say he was connected to a years-long illegal gambling enterprise. Lopez is one of the 5 people arrested in the case, which includes 3 people prosecutors say were involved in the business side or running of the operation. Sheldon Weatherholt, Carol Colt, and Sharon Frederick have all bailed out of jail shortly after their arrest. Another co-defendant accused of aiding the operation has left the country and has not been arrested. Marcos Lopez's estranged wife, Robin Severance Lopez, was also arrested on allegations that she used money from the gambling. How interesting is that? I have all the documents for this particular case on my Patreon if you would like to see those. And I did do a live stream going over those documents if you would like to check that out. It has this thumbnail. While we're here, I did just find another article that talks about if this case in particular will hurt Madeline Soto's case. Which, by the way, if you did not know, as of today, June 26th, 2025, there was this joint motion to continue entered in the trial for the CSAM on Stephen Stearns. There you can see all the charges. This joint motion to continue means that both sides are requesting a continuance. So it does appear that this motion entered the 12th saying that the trial would start July 15th is now going to be null and void more than likely. Obviously, the judge still has to rule on it, but we can assume since both sides are agreeing that they want a continuance, he's probably going to grant them that continuance. Now, let's talk about the impact Sheriff Lopez and all of his dirty deeds could have on Madeline Soto's case.
It begs the question of why would he do it? Why would a man who took an oath to uphold the Constitution and the laws of this great state break the law? And
my opinion is that he found a way to do it and get away with it, so he did.
And hopefully one day we will find out.
That was Belvin Perry, the former chief judge for Florida's 9th Judicial Circuit, talking about Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. This was his booking photo, courtesy of the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Lopez arrested on charges of racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. There was a state investigation led by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Homeland Security Investigations. And according to the Attorney General and the Office of Statewide Prosecution, they say it uncovered a criminal organization that was operating an illegal gambling enterprise. centered mainly in Lake and Osceola counties, and that investigators say generated more than $21 million in illicit proceeds.
And with that $21 million being elicited by illegal means, you can understand why the judge said that he had to be able to prove that his bond money is clean money.
We also wondered, how is he going to be treated in jail? What happens now to some other Osceola County cases? And what will this case against Lopez look like moving forward? Those were questions I posed to Judge Belvin Perry, just a little bit ago when we spoke.
It was shocking because your highest ranking law enforcement officer, along with other law enforcement officers, are charged with the responsibility of upholding the law. With that, you don't expect them to break the law. It is devastating to law enforcement, and particularly devastating to the reputation of the Osceola County Sheriff's Office.
How will the sheriff be treated in jail? Will he be isolated from other inmates? Do you have any
I would say yes.
idea what that situation might be like?
He will be kept in isolation if he remains in jail from the rest of the inmates for his own safety.
Which is a double-edged sword, right? Like, yes, he is protected, but you are put in a cell by yourself all day long. And if none of your family sends you books to read or anything, you literally stare at the wall for 24 hours a day.
Yeah, and we do know he was taken to Lake County and the jail there. Certainly an interesting situation, though. We want to dive in on what impact this could have on other cases, because we know there are a lot of other cases, obviously, that the sheriff's office is investigating, looking into, some high-profile cases, including the Maddie Soto case. What does this mean for some of those?
What will happen will be basically centered around two things. One, whether any of those officers are involved in this particular case where the sheriff is involved in. The second part is that an officer's credibility will be put in jeopardy, because it is only human nature that a jury would look at this and say, well, we got this deputy testifying from the Osceola County Sheriff's Department. Should we believe him? Particularly if it's just the officer's word alone and there's no corroborating evidence to back up with that officer. So it puts each and every law enforcement officer with a taint on them, and lawyers will say, you shouldn't believe them.
Well, and this is not the first issue we have seen with Sheriff Lopez. And so I think that credibility question would be something that defense attorneys could really kind of push and lean into.
And I don't know if you remember Stephen Stern's attorney saying that they received some very private, confidential information that they could not share with the court, and that was their original reason for requesting a continuance.
We're on the record, State of Florida versus Stephen Michael Stearns, 2024 CF 632. Appearances for the record, please.
Defense is coming to information that at this time the defense isn't in a position to be able to divulge to the court or in open court.
So your good cause is secret?
Essentially, Judge. Well, I can't in good faith at this time, being that it's still being explored. I don't know which way it's going to go, if it's going to be something that's going to pan out in favor of defense or be able to be something to be utilized in this case as the court.
So I am wondering if the arrest of Sheriff Marco Lopez is the reason for this joint motion to continue, and if it was the reason for her original request to continue that she could not share with the court. Remember that confidential information that she had, that she referenced and said she couldn't tell the court the first time she was denied her continuance. Is this what that information was? And is that the reason both sides are now filing for a joint motion to continue?
Not only will they push and lean into it, you will see during the voir dire jury selection process, they will ask numerous questions about the believability and credibility of law enforcement officers, that they're just like anyone else. They will also ask, have you heard about the sheriff in Osceola County being arrested? And try to determine what effect, if any. And the problem is it stains the credibility of the fine men and women who wear the uniform. People now are going to look at them a little differently.
I absolutely agree with that. And again, it does stain the reputation because that was the sheriff of Osceola County, elected official, and there were several people from his department who were taken down with him in this illegal gambling operation. It definitely tarnishes the Osceola County Sheriff's Department undeservingly because there was a lot of people not involved in that, and the whole community as a whole is going to look at them a little bit more differently, a little bit more judgmental from here on out, and it could definitely affect the jury. If they get up on the stand and they're going to testify, especially Sheriff Mark Lopez, why should we believe him now? Why should we believe a word he says? The whole time he was running this illegal gambling operation and stealing money from the community illegally. Why should anybody believe him? I would love to know your thoughts, opinions, and speculations in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video.